Hey guys, Mr. Jalapeno here, and in today's project, I'm going to show you how to match the paint on your walls jalapeno style. First thing you want to do is cut off a little piece of drywall. I always recommend cutting the drywall like in a closet corner where it's not going to be visible, but unfortunately the closet here was a white color, so I try to look for a little corner in the bedroom here that's not going to be as visible. But before you start cutting the drywall, make sure you lay some plastic down with some blue tape, and I'm going to measure out a 3" by 3" little piece. They tell me at the paint store that a quarter size should be good, but me personally, I just like to take a 3" sized piece of drywall. That way when they put the color match on it, I could really tell, you know, the sheen, if it's gonna match really good. So you don't necessarily need to cut it this big. It's a personal preference, so you could cut a quarter size piece if you want. And here we go. This is one of my favorite stores. I feel like a kid in a candy shop when I'm at this store, you know, looking at all the brushes, all the paints. Unfortunately, there's a paint shortage right now, so they don't have a lot of paint, but I picked up this super paint, and from the looks of it, it was a pretty good match on the sample I took in. I'm just gonna test it out a little bit on the wall. That way I know if it's gonna be a pretty good match. They painted this house about 3 years ago, and the homeowner didn't have the original paint, and he didn't want to spend too much on just painting the whole house. That's why we're, you know, trying to find a paint match. It's gonna be much easier to just paint some touch-ups here and there. And I'm just gonna test out a couple areas. The tenants tried to do some drywall repairs on the wall there. I just, you know, decided to do a little touch-up there since I'm gonna be working on those repairs. And to be honest, the paint was a pretty good match. I wouldn't say 100%. See, look, it's kind of drying there. You could still kind of see it. So it's not necessarily 100% match, but pretty darn close. The homeowner liked it, so he said, yep, let's paint it. But before I paint, I gotta make sure I patch up that little hole I made. I kept a little sample piece, that way I don't have to cut up a new piece of drywall. I put a screw, just make sure not to go too deep. And then I mix up a little bit of this Easy Sand 5, that way I could do multiple coats in a short amount of time. After I do the 2 coats, I just make sure everything's nice and flat. I sand it down if I need to, wipe down the edges with my rag, and here we go with the jalapeno flicker. I think I'm gonna start making some t-shirts with the jalapeno flicker. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. But anyways, after you do the jalapeno flicker, let it set for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can knock it down. I usually use a magic trowel. It's like a little squeegee, but the 6" worked pretty good. Then I went back to Sherwin-Williams to get a couple more gallons of paint. I usually only get 1 quart when I do a paint sample because I don't want to get a full gallon and then the paint doesn't match, you know. But anyways, now I just caulk the corner. That way the corner is going to be nice and smooth. Let the caulking dry for at least 20 minutes because if you paint it too soon, you might pull the caulking with your brush there. And also, this paint I'm using, it's the super paint from Sherwin-Williams. It says it's primer in 1. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about primer in 1 paints, but honestly I thought it worked really good. Look, it matched really good. Right there it's still kind of drying, but after it dried, the homeowner was super happy. That way he didn't have to paint the whole room. And that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments if you have a different way of doing it, but this is the jalapeno style. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom.